It's time for Where You Live with Gene and Tony, the show that's all about owning, buying, selling, renting, and association management. If it involves a home, we'll talk about it. Here's your chance to get your homeowner questions answered. From the Concierge Landscape Studios, here's Gene and Tony.
Needed the shelter of someone's arms, and there you were. Needed someone to understand my ups and downs, and there you were. With sweet love and devotion, touching my emotions, I want to stop and thank you, baby. I just want to stop and thank you, baby. Oh, yeah, how sweet it is to be loved by you.
Well, bless my soul, what's wrong with me? I'm itching like a man on a fuzzy dream.
Stories that we've covered over the last couple years.
All right,
and
good.
we want to ask people what they think happened.
So we're gonna have a quiz about the outcome of these stories.
We'll have all kinds of prizes, hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of prizes and gifts that we'll be giving away. And that's not only for the audience here at the State Fair, but for our listening audience as well.
All right, and people can call in if they have a question or comment, or if they want to answer a quiz question, 651-289-4488.
Yes. And then we're going to be covering in a little bit. We had one listener from last week, Tony, that wrote us an email asking us for our thoughts on their homeowner association that had I guess in the recent past, storm damage. Mm-hmm. And the association, instead of taking care of the damage in that entire claim themselves, kind of put every homeowner on their own to take care of it. We're going to talk about that and give our thoughts.
The issues that raised.
That's right. But right now, it is time, as always, for Property Management in the News. And Property Management in the News today is brought to you by Pest Control Services. When you need to get rid of unwanted pests in your home or rental property, you want to call someone who is responsive, professional, and a proud member of Angie's List. Give owner Greg Keener a call at 952-894-9748. That's Pest Control Services. Well, let's talk about this first story. And this comes out of Cedar Park, Texas. And there's a man who lives in a homeowners association, and he believes that his rights are being denied by his homeowners association. It says Cedar Park, Texas, shortly after moving from California to Cedar Park last year, Larry Mathers added solar-powered lights to his yard. He then decided to get an estimate on 8 solar panels for his roof. The cost $11,000.
Yeah, that's a big job. That's a big project.
And Mathers said, this is probably going to be our last home. If we can save money by putting in solar and not having any bill, he said, I think that will work out great. Mathers approached his homeowners association for permission to put in the panels. While they discussed it, he gathered signatures from several supportive neighbors. That's kind of a good idea, to be able to show the board that there are other people that were behind it.
The neighbors are okay with it, yep.
However, the homeowner association came back this month and answered no. Actually, that's not true, but we'll cover that a little bit later in the story here. It said, according to the HOA, the panels could go at the back of the Mathers roof, but not on the front part of the roof, because they would be too visible from the street. The problem for Mathers is that he could not, he doesn't think he can get as much sun in the back as he can in the front.
Okay.
And at this point, it says that the homeowner association management company is not talking to him by phone. They've now sent a letter to him informing him that all future correspondence would now go through an attorney.
Oh, my. That escalated quickly.
Yes, it did.
What happened in between here?
I got to believe it's because Larry went to, we're reading this from KVUE, an ABC News affiliate, in Texas, I would imagine he kind of perhaps upped the ante a little bit.
Oh,
here.
he went to the media.
Yes,
with the story.
With
okay.
the story.
All right.
Mathers, however, may now have a new law on his side. In Texas, there is House Bill 362 that recently went into effect, and it states that an owner can place panels outside of a homeowner association's designated area if the panels increase energy production by more than 10%. Mather said the difference between the front and back of his home is more than 60.
More than 60% difference. So he meets that criteria, then some.
And apparently, even though this is a new law that's just going into effect, it may be a matter that's ultimately going to be decided by a judge.
Yeah, it says the HOA also has rights, and it can still object to the panels if they interfere with the use and enjoyment of the land.
Yeah.
And that's usually the issue with these architectural changes is, number one, is it going to affect the value of the property? And number two, is it going to annoy the neighbors? Is it going to impair their view? Is it going to look ugly to them? Is it going to prevent them from, I don't know what, getting signals from outer space? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it'll block their satellite dish. Who knows?
Yes. And when we talk about the association having the right for quiet use and enjoyment, and it says that they may be able to have some say in the matter because it would interfere with that.
Yeah.
We're not talking about of course, the idea of it being peaceful and quiet in the neighborhood. We're talking about quiet enjoyment, or in other words, that there is no encumbrance on the property as a result. When a homeowner puts on an additional piece like a solar panel, and the association is responsible for the insurance to the exterior, the association may now be looking at additional cost in insurance.
Well, sure, and
that would be encumbered.
That's right. And actually, they may become responsible for that addition. They may become responsible for the maintenance and repair of those solar panels.
Exactly.
Depending on what their documents
And that's one of the reasons why homeowners associations always had the ability to either approve or disapprove of these things.
That's right.
And so the thing that I find very misleading in this story, as always, is the headline started out by saying, here's a man who had his rights denied him.
He believes his HOA is denying his rights. So he goes to the media, right? How many stories like this are there every week? Every week, some homeowner in a homeowners association is upset because apparently they no longer want to adhere to the contract they signed when they purchased their home.
That's right. And, when a person, the basic fact of anybody moving into a homeowner association is that when you move in, you are willingly giving up some of your individual rights because there are some benefits that you'll be receiving as a result.
That's right, because you own real estate together with your neighbors. You own it in common with your neighbors. So you're not solely responsible for your roof often or solely responsible for your siding. And you need to know what you're buying before you purchase that home.
Yeah. And so here we have an example of Mr. Mathers here, who bought in a homeowner association, and after he bought, now he wants to change immediately the exterior of his home.
Yep.
He gets a no for an answer from his HOA.
Yep.
He feels his rights are being denied when he is now saying, I'm not willing, I'm going to renege on the contract that I just signed with you.
That's right. His rights are not being denied. He did not have the right to do that if the HOA says no, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other part about this that I think is real interesting is that here in the state in the state of Texas, where this story was coming from, some people in the legislature there are saying, you know what? I think that the rights of an individual when it comes to installing solar panels is greater than the contract agreement that they had prior to installing.
And that's what really rubs us the wrong way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You sign a contract, you agree to this set of circumstances when you purchase your home, and then someone gets upset, calls their legislator, and all of a sudden the state wants to enact a new law basically canceling out the agreement you signed when you bought your home. And how often are they going to do that, and when will it stop? it's the old slippery slope thing. So you think solar panels are okay? Well, okay. What about pink flamingos on the roof, or what about big landscape boulders in the front of the houses? It could go on and on and on.
Yeah.
To where you end up with no advantage to living in a homeowners association.
Yeah, well, I'd like us to talk about this just for a couple minutes more, but I can see by the clock here it's time for us to take a break. We'd love to hear what you think. Do you think this man had his rights denied him by living in a homeowners association in this manner? We'd love to hear from you if you're here at the fair, or if you're listening to the show, give us a call. 651-289-4488. We'll take a break and be back after this.